Okay, I'm here with Phillip Luff, who is Managing Director for EMEA for Scripps Networks Interactive. Phillip, HGTV is one of your big launches outside the US recently. Can you tell me a little bit about what your ambitions are for the channel and what prospects for growth you see for it in the region?
Yes, we're very excited to be launching. It's really our flagship brand in the US. We have a portfolio of 6 channels brands in the US, and it's by far the most successful. It's often number one for upscale women in the US. A very large output of content coming through, which we're able to access and launch across Europe, Middle East, Africa. And we're starting, the first launch is in the Middle East and North Africa with BN Media, which we're very excited about launching on the 1st of November. And then followed closely by a launch in Poland. TVN is launching HGTV in Poland. And then we're talking to all of our cable and satellite operators, all of our clients about opportunities to launch in all their various markets. So we've had some great meetings here at MIPCOM. It's a very exciting brand. We've got so much content and great personalities on the network, and looking to do some original production as we launch the channels as well.
Looking at the other pay TV channels, can you tell me a little bit about what prospects you see for further growth in the EMEA region on the pay TV side for those networks?
Yeah, so I think ever since we acquired Travel Channel International, a few years ago, that kind of gave us our base for growth across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. We've been launching Food Network and Fine Living, working with the operators who had travel channels, so talking to them about the full portfolio of channels. And really the opportunity came around a couple of years ago when we brought in-house the management of Food Network and Fine Living, which used to be with Cello Zone. And so actually having brought in the management of those channels in terms of scheduling, marketing, distribution, sales, we now have that portfolio that we're managing ourselves through our sales team and through our network of agents across Europe. And so we've been sort of plugging in any gaps that we may have had, particularly for Food Network, bringing it up to the level of Travel Channel. And Fine Living is one of those channels that really resonates with a lot of our clients because it's very upscale, very aspirational. So a lot of them see that as an opportunity to tap into a very premium market for their customers. And then HGTV is also sort of filling in a gap really for a lot of our operators. It's a new brand that's done very well in the US, so there's a great case study for everyone to see. A huge output of content that really taps into almost everybody who owns a home or is thinking of owning a home or creating a home life for their family. It's really all about that, that sense of creating a family environment or something that's very modern, very fresh, give you some inspiration. But ultimately, the presenters are really the key to the success of this network. We have some wonderful presenters who are really passionate, really believe in the content, and it's just palpable. You can feel their enthusiasm coming through the screen. And I think that's the key to the success. These are very new faces to a lot of our audiences. But we also have, some very famous people, Queen Latifah, Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, they all have shows with us. But I have to say that it's really our homegrown talent that have done so well in the US. In fact, some of our talent are on the cover of People magazine. So I think it's the first time that there's someone other than a movie talent has been on the cover of the magazine. So it's really resonating with the audiences in the US and then will be internationally as well.
Now I know you also distribute some of your brands on a free-to-air basis. What prospects do you see for further growth on the free side?
We've gone free-to-air in the UK. We have two brands, Travel Channel and Food Network. And in Italy we have a channel, Fine Living, both DTT, or all 3 DTT. And we saw those as key markets really with advertising growth, where we saw that pay TV was not growing as strongly as the overall market for advertising. And we've been incredibly successful with those brands. Fine Living has grown about 30 to 35% year on year in terms of audience. Food Network and Travel Channel. Travel Channel in the UK has grown, I think, more than 100% year on year since we took it 24 hours. It had a block up to about a year and a half ago. And we've been investing in a lot of original local content, but for the UK, things like Paul Hollywood City Bakes, We've done Shed and Buried for Travel Channel. We recently did Stars in Their Cars for Travel Channel. And those programs will also go across Europe, on our brands on pay TV. And then in Italy, we've done a lot of original Italian productions, which have been the most successful programs on the network. So they're really resonating with our local audiences.
So you've talked a bit about some of the originals you've been doing. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you're doing on the original content side in specific markets outside the US?
And I think we're particularly focusing in our key markets, often where we're already doing some local advertising. So we're using the local advertising revenue to reinvest in the business, to do originals for those particular regions. So for an example is Seba's Table, a fabulous talent we found in South Africa. She's on Food Network, on DSTV in South Africa. And it's really given us a local flavor, a lot of local publicity. Seba is available for Delicious Festival, for example, where we actually have a presence at a food festival in South Africa. So our audience can actually interact with our talent. They can really live with our brand off air as well. And we do a lot of that. We do a lot of in Poland, in Italy. We're doing more in Russia at the moment. We're just about to commission some originals in Russia. And I think wherever we see an opportunity to invest in a market that's still growing, we will do local content. Now, our preference is to find talent that can resonate and travel. So Paul Hollywood actually is now working with our US team as well as Seba. Seba's actually on the Cooking Channel in the US. Donald Skian, an Irish presenter that we discovered. We did Donald, actually a travel series with Donald, but he's also a foodie. And it's just great to find talent that can actually work in multiple markets, but also give us that little bit of local flavor as well.